Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Geri Puleo, the President and CEO of Change Management Solutions and the creator of the Burnout During Organizational Change model, or BDOC. Today I want to talk to you about the downward spiral into burnout. Dum 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 dum. But if you're engaged in that spiral, it's nothing to laugh at. What I found in my own research and what is part of the Burnout During Organizational Change model is the fact that before you burn out, I'll bet that you were really hopeful. You were hopeful that things were going to go well, you were excited, and you were energized. In other words, you were living life the way you really wanted to be, and you were enjoying the process. But something happened to you, usually in your external environment, or it could even be in your work habits, that led to frustration. You became frustrated with what was going on when your actions and activities weren't giving you the result that you wanted. And then if this continues, frustration eventually leads into anger. You're angry now. You're no longer frustrated that your boss doesn't care about what you're doing. You're angry at the fact that your boss is not recognizing you for all the effort and sacrifice that you've been making in order to do your job well. Now, you might wonder if burnout immediately follows anger, but it doesn't. There's a step in between, and that's when you become totally apathetic. In other words, you just don't care anymore. So think about that downward spiral. You start out really hopeful and energized and excited, but then, especially in the workplace, if one of the 10 workplace stressors is present, you start descending relatively quickly from that hope into frustration, and then anger, and then apathy. In other words, you're really just engaged in presenteeism. You're a body at work, but you really don't care. In fact, you might just do the bare minimum to get by. But then what's going to happen is you go into a full-blown burnout. And a full-blown burnout has 3 components based on my research. One is you've got certain personality traits that are involved with it that tend to continue or perpetuate the burnout. This could be something like being a people pleaser or being a perfectionist. The second factor are organizational factors, or things that are going on in your external environment. Now, these can be an organization that's too concerned with the return on investment. It could be an organization that's filled with political intrigue and sabotage. It can be an organization that is really very poorly led. So those are 2 of the factors that define burnout. But the third factor, and this is the stage when most people finally admit that they're burning out, is when you have physical health problems, usually of a chronic nature, but they can also be acute. In my own research that led to the creation of the Burnout During Organizational Change model, it was around 15% of my participants in the study who succumbed to cancer within 6 months of their burnout. And there's been a lot of research out there connecting high stress levels with different hormones and chemicals that serve through the body that can contribute to cancer. But it might not be that extreme. It might be something like chronic gastrointestinal problems. It could be a cold that you just can't seem to shake. It could be skin conditions, rashes. It could be cardiovascular or heart problems. And that's what burnout is. It's when all 3 of those things, and what I call the burnout triumvirate, that come together. So if you are in the downward spiral to burnout, remember that hope that you started with has degraded into frustration, and then anger, and then apathy. It's a very strong likelihood that you will burn out and start experiencing physical as well as emotional problems associated with the stress. So that is the sad but true downward spiral to burnout. But the good news is that once you know what the stages are, you can recognize them and then take proactive steps to get out of that stage and avoid burning out. Hope this worked for you, and good luck.